What's going on, everybody? This is DK Dynamite, and today we're going to be talking about some shocking reports about what's happening to Call of Duty in 2023, some updates from Activision, and even more. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, drop a like, and make sure notifications on to stay up to date with everything going on in Cold War 2, Warzone, Modern Warfare 2, and any other future Call of Duty as well. In the background, we do have some Fireteam gameplay since, for whatever reason, Fireteam has been broken since Season 4 began, but then all of a sudden, a couple of days ago when Season 4 Reloaded came out, the mode started working again. So when the season started, every time I would search for a match, I would get failed to host lobby, and the mode would just crash my game. So no other mode was doing that. I'm not sure what happened there, but ever since Reloaded a couple of days ago, the mode actually works again. And I'm unclear if that's a coincidence or if the mid-season update truly did fix something with the matchmaking on this game mode. But it's great to be back. I absolutely love this mode, and I hope it does come back at some point in the next Black Ops game. But yesterday, I also wasn't aware that there was an Activision Blizzard earnings call, and the reason why is probably because ever since the Microsoft acquisition got announced, Activision confirmed that they weren't going to go ahead and do any more live calls until the acquisition went through. So maybe this fall, after the acquisition goes through, if it does, we'll actually start getting those live calls again where we can actually listen in while the call is happening and do a live reaction on stream with you guys. And yesterday during the call, Charlie Intel put out this tweet. The company seems to have implied that there will in fact be a new premium Call of Duty in 2023. The quote from the phone call says, development of new premium content is planned for 2023 and beyond. So after this report came out from Charlie Intel, a bunch of journalists started debating on Twitter whether or not this actually meant a new Call of Duty coming in 2023, or if it's just premium content coming in 2023, which could imply some extension or add-on to Modern Warfare 2, some other free-to-play titles that aren't exactly a new Call of Duty from Treyarch. I mean, everybody out there was kind of going at it, debating what this could have meant, because in the past, whenever Activision says that there is a premium game coming, that represents the yearly Call of Duty release, right? But when they say new Call of Duty content without the word premium, that can mean anything from remasters, DLC, add-ons, whatever the case is. We have Westy who says if there was going to be a 2023 COD, Activision would be saying it definitively. I think this comment alludes to Modern Warfare 2 getting that second year of support and the premium content that comes with it. Charlie Intel replied to Activision Blizzard, premium equals paid games / content. They use premium for full paid games, live ops for support content. But then Jason Schreier follows up underneath both of them and says, but what if you were both right? So I'm like, okay, they're both right. So Treyarch's next Black Ops is still delayed in a second year of Modern Warfare 2, not a brand new Call of Duty. Treyarch is leading the next mainline game, which was delayed to 2024, as Bloomberg reported on earlier this year. So I do trust Jason Schreier as a games journalist. He's been spot on about quite a few things, especially for Call of Duty in the past. And I think when you actually put his information up against some of the things we've heard from other gaming insiders and leakers like Rouse Valve or some others you guys are familiar with, you'll notice that there is pretty much an inconsistency with what has been quote-unquote leaked over the past couple of months regarding how Modern Warfare 2 is going to work, DMZ, and exactly how Treyarch's next game is also going on behind the scenes right now. But I think if you look at just Jason Schreier's context here, here's what I'll say first. So I think Charlie Intel didn't actually know what Activision was referring to from this phone call. They were making an assumption based on how Activision has used the word premium in the past, and that's fair. And I also think Activision isn't exactly quite ready to reveal that there won't be a premium Call of Duty launch in 2023, so it doesn't piss off investors, shareholders. So I think right now they're trying to play it safe and won't actually reveal that Modern Warfare 2 is getting a second year of support instead of a new Call of Duty launch until the game is proven to be successful in the next couple of months. And I also don't think it looks good for the press if they're like, oh yeah guys, Treyarch has a new Call of Duty coming out, but it's actually delayed, considering all of the hot press circulating Treyarch over the past couple of years. I mean, Black Ops 4 launching in a rough state, COD 2020 not even being Treyarch's game to begin with, they turned it into Black Ops Cold War, them having to help Sledgehammer and now Infinity Ward, as well as a bunch of devs leaving Treyarch as well. So I think Activision is waiting on reporting something as big as no Call of Duty for the first time in years. Now trust me when I tell you, I get it. People out there that might not be looking forward to Modern Warfare 2, or people out there that only like zombies, we're hoping that Treyarch does come out with the game in 2023, and they actually still might be doing something like that. We'll get to that later in this video, but here's what I'll say about the next Black Ops being delayed. This should ensure maximum success from that experience. This should ensure that they actually get a fair amount of time to work on a game with a clear vision, with a nice new staff. This should hopefully ensure that that the game has even more content than Black Ops 4 and Cold War combined. And I think if the game came out, then sure, but Black Ops 3 really pushed the limit many years ago with what a year 2 could be. Not only weapons and cosmetics, but then, you know, a map pack of 8 remasters. That was crazy. And then year into Black Ops 4 with the idea of other variants. And I think Activision is ready to kind of pull the trigger on a full-fledged year 2 with 6 new seasons. And I think Modern Warfare 2 will be the game that actually does that. But if the next Black Ops game comes out and isn't as successful as Modern Warfare 2, then I think a year 2 for that game would be thrown out the window. So I think instead of having Sledgehammer rush out another COD for 2025, it would be best if Treyarch comes out with a banger in 2024, gets 2 years of support for that, and then maybe we'll see which dev comes out with the new Call of Duty in like, what, 2026? But now I'm going to bring this back to a report that I talked about a little while ago, and that is the fact that Activision is actually hiring for specific positions at Infinity Ward who are apparently working on an open world RPG. Now I'm going to say right now that that could be set to have a big mode like that. So I think to really kick off a year 2 for Modern Warfare 2, having DMZ launch as that experience in place of a new Call of Duty could work if the mode is massive enough. If it's as hardcore as Escape from Tarkov, but also casual enough to where multiplayer and Warzone people could jump into it, then that could really be something huge alongside 6 more seasons of Modern Warfare 2 with more multiplayer content, Spec Ops, whatever the case is, as well as Warzone 2 content, obviously. But obviously DMZ has been a very confusing topic to talk about over the last couple of months, considering you had Rouse Valve, who has now disappeared off the internet because he got proven wrong way too many times. He was claiming that DMZ was potentially going to be this free-to-play 2023 project. We had Tom Henderson disputing that, saying that his sources told him it wasn't free-to-play, it was just a part of Modern Warfare 2 as an additional mode coming this fall. We've heard a lot of different things about this, but I think it's certainly possible that all of that was wrong, and I think in place of a premium COD in 2023, they come out with a massive content and extension update for Modern Warfare 2, which again would be locked behind a paywall. You'd have to own Modern Warfare 2 to presumably play DMZ. That's what I'm thinking right now. But I also think regardless of what releases in Modern Warfare 2 during 2023, there will still be several other projects that drop. I know we've heard quite a few rumors in the past about Treyarch working on a free-to-play project. Jason Schreier has even backed up small reports about that. The Treyarch is helping with something that is coming out in the next year that is separate from Black Ops 2024. So that's where the rumors come in about a standalone Zombies project featuring all maps remastered. It could be like a full-fledged Call of Duty remaster like World at War, Black Ops 1. I mean, even drop Modern Warfare 3. I think in place of a premium COD in 2023, if you go ahead and drop like 2 to 3 remastered titles from COD, and you also drop DMZ, and you drop something Zombies related, if you drop all of that in 1 year in 2024, I think 2023 could be a very unique year for the COD franchise, especially considering I certainly don't think that in place of a premium Call of Duty in 2023, they're just going to be like, oh yeah, by the way, there's no COD this year, but here's 6 more seasons of Modern Warfare 2. I don't think it's going to be that simple. I do think they're going to really make sure that whatever the announcement is for 2023 is massive enough to warrant not releasing a Call of Duty, whether it's multiple projects, whether it's a massive extension to Modern Warfare 2 that is really worth the $60 or however much it's going to be. But I think as many insiders have claimed before, it'll be very unusual to see break like we got with MW19 where there was no zombies at all, but 2 years in a row with no zombies would probably be weird for that portion of the community. So I think something zombies related might even happen in the next year, but something that isn't too big to the point where Treyarch is taken away from core development of Black Ops 2024, hence why it's reasonable to consider that it'll probably be a remaster of sorts that comes out. Now tonight's video is sponsored by Game Hollywood. Game Hollywood is a platform featuring a variety of different games, many of which are free to play with an account. They've recently released 2 new games, Game of Thrones, an officially licensed experience, and even World of Ruin. Now one of their games, Dragon Awaken, has recently been upgraded to HTML5 with countless free rewards. They also offer some premium games such as Paladin Dream, RPG Squad Battle, Soulsland, War of Gold, Royale Heroes, and Broken Blades. These games do cost a couple of dollars each, but do offer endless hours of replayability. Game Hollywood brings back that excitement that we all had as kids when we would boot up some easy-to-play browser games before we all started to play on consoles or expensive PCs. Now, if you're ready to get your hands on up to 25 free games, whether you prefer action, adventure, role-playing, or strategy, then click on the special link down below in this video's description to access the Game Hollywood platform and also enjoy these gameplay previews as you're about to see. But thank you to Game Hollywood for sponsoring today's video. Now, when you also consider the shortcomings of Vanguard, the real underperformance of that premium title, which kind of translated over into Warzone Pacific, and you combine that with lower player retention over the last year, lower sales, engagement, and I know it's post-pandemic, so it kind of makes sense that we're seeing those numbers now, but if you consider all that together, maybe if Microsoft doesn't take over in the next year, Activision has plans to say, you know what, we're not going to take a break from COD or from the yearly COD cycle of 2023. We don't want to do that. We want to make up for the shortcomings of Vanguard by dropping back-to-back bangers, no matter what the state of those games are in. We want to make sure that we make up for that lost revenue and that lost engagement. So we're actually going to drop a COD in 2023 after all. Maybe that's actually what they're planning right now. But again, if Microsoft takes over, then that could all change. And it's also a possibility, a slim chance that is, that Jason Schreier's report might be outdated a little bit. You never know, but we'll see if Bloomberg comes out with another breaking news bombshell regarding Call of Duty in the next couple of months. But I think considering Vanguard's performance, anything is possible at this point, and it might be drastically different from what Activision originally had planned before Vanguard even came out. Now, let this report serve as a very clear example of why I always say take rumors with a grain of salt, regardless of where the rumors originate from, whether it's actual journalists that we know consistently cover COD, whether it's just accurate games journalists that occasionally cover COD, or even if it's rumors that are coming from some occasionally accurate leakers that just feel like clout chasing or have reported on things, which kind of makes sense. Be careful with all of it, right? I love making videos updating you guys on what is going on with Call of Duty, but whenever we talk about unofficial information such as this, I always warn you guys, be very careful with what you read and believe, because in an instant, the information can either be disproven, debunked, it may have been fake the entire time, or it's as simple as plans changing to where maybe at one point this was true 100%, but then a month later it got changed for a number of reasons, XYZ. That's why I always warn you guys, right? Be very careful with all of this. But in my opinion, I think right now the clear plan is to ensure that COD 2.0 begins on the right note with a very solid launch of Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2, and then Warzone Mobile. I think something as big as DMZ is definitely being saved, but I could be wrong about that. And I also don't think Activision even wants to risk Treyarch's reputation pumping out a very half-assed, rushed, disastrous Call of Duty in 2023. They want to make sure that they launch a game as successful as Black Ops Cold War, with even more time put into it by the time 2024 rolls around. But I think the question that a lot of us are wondering now is, what is Sledgehammer working on now? We kind of got an idea as to what Treyarch is doing, but what about Sledgehammer? Are they just going to be a support studio for every COD moving forward? Do they have their own independent project in development? What exactly is going on with that? But that is about it. This has been DK Dynamite. Leave all your thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the report that there might be a premium Call of Duty release in 2023? What are your thoughts on the updates from Activision and the rest of the things we talked about? Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.